Welcome back to Minutes with Meansy. So today we're going to show you how to properly inspect your brakes. So the first thing to do is take it for a road test. See how the pedal feels. Make sure there's no vibration in the pedal, sponginess. Check for your stopping distance. If it feels like it takes you extra long to stop, or if they're grabbing and stopping too quickly. And then the other thing is vibration. Any vibration in the pedal or the steering wheel can indicate some issues. So after you're done with your road test, you want to do an inspection, a visual inspection on your brakes. So once you got your vehicle raised, your wheel off, perform a basic visual inspection of your brakes. So this is your brake rotor. First thing when inspecting a rotor, you're just going to want to look at the face of the rotor, make sure there's no pitting, grinding, rusting, or bluing at all of the rotor face. So the bluing can indicate excessive heat, and that can come from a sticking caliper or a sticking guide pin, and it's constantly holding the brake pad against the rotor and building up heat. Here is a great example of a bad rotor. Lots of pitting, lots of rust, and you can see this line right here. That's the only place that the pad was actually making contact and stopping the vehicle. So probably less than 50% stopping with this rotor. Okay, next on the inspection list is going to be the pads. This is one of your brake pads. This is actually the backing plate. It's not the surface that touches your rotor. Another thing with pads is you want to look at the pad surface. You want to make sure it's got enough pad left in it, and you can do that by just comparing it to the backing. The backing is about 4 millimeters. And if it's any less than that, then you need to replace your pads. So if you're looking through this little hole here, you can see the moving part. That's going to be the rotor. And then right behind that is your pad, the pad surface that touches the rotor and stops your car. And then behind that is the pad backing. If the pad is less than the backing, you're going to require new brake pads. Another thing on pads is if they're wearing unevenly or if they're cracked, that indicates possibly sticking caliper or sticking guide pins. Right in here is a guide pin that allows this caliper to float back and forth. These can be a big issue. Make sure these boots are not cracked or anything like that. And when you do a brake repair, all this is going to come off. You're going to clean and lube these guides. So after the repair, you're going to want to check your brake fluid, color and condition, and level. So your level, you'll just look at the reservoir here, and there's a maximum mark, and just make sure it's right at the maximum mark. Here's your max line right here. You want to make sure your brake fluid is up to that level. If you have to fill, make sure to look at the cap and get the correct brake fluid for the vehicle. This one is .3. And then the condition, the color, brake fluid typically starts off clear to an amber color. If it's any darker than amber, I'd recommend replacing it. Otherwise, brake fluid is recommended to be replaced every 2 years. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.